Track Club. This is our 19th season. So Coach Barrett Hopper started this club in 2005, and he started out with mainly distance runners, but then they branched over into sprinting. My son came to the club in 2009, and then I was so involved that they asked me to start coaching too. So I've been coaching since 2009, and I've been head coach for 10 years, I think. So what I wanted to do as far as the interest meeting is just kind of tell you how we work as a club. We have a very big family component. We try to take care of each other. We're really into encouraging all of our athletes, no matter what their level is. We have extremely elite athletes. We have some recreational athletes. Where we compete is in the middle to elite group. So, some kids may be their first time coming out, and it's going to be a little bit of a shock to the system, but that's okay because we're still going to encourage. And what we always like to say, or what I like to say, is that I want any athlete to be a better version of themselves when they leave me, no matter how long they stay. So I feel like that I want our kids to always learn something and grow in some measure or fashion. So USA Track and Field is the league that we run in. Basically, when you sign up with me, I'm going to get all of y'all's kids' information, and we're going to put it into the system and sign them up with USA Track and Field. There's another league that we can run in called AAU, Amateur Athletic Union. We do some meets during the season there, but when we go to competition to try to go to Junior Olympics, it's going to be USA Track and Field. The dates that are going to be important, and I'll be posting these on the website, and we're going to talk about the website in a minute too. The most important dates, because I know, families are planning vacations and things like that. So we want to get that information out early. July 10th through 13th is the regional meets. And so we have an association that we run under. Basically, it's like our group for DFW area. And then the region that we belong to is Region 12, which goes all the way down to Houston. So there is an association championship that we'll run in, and our association has not chosen their date yet. It's going to be probably around the first or second week of June, based on when the other meet comes up. You qualify from the championship of the association, and then you go to the regional meet. The regional meet is going to be, again, July 10th through 13th. That's going to be in Seguin. And then the top 5 athletes in each event that qualifies out of the regional meet gets to go to the Junior Olympics. Last year, we had 4 athletes that qualified for Junior Olympics, and we got to go up to Oregon and actually run at Hayes Field, which was amazing. So that's something that is our goal this year. The Junior Olympics is going to be in College Station, so it's going to be a nice road trip, nice and easy to get to. That's why we chose to run with USA this year. So one thing that you want to understand about the league itself is it goes by 2-year age increments. So if you have an athlete that's born in January of 2023, they're going to run with other athletes that are born in 2024. So it's a 2-year increment. So all the way from January 1st through December 31st to the second year. All right. So that's how that goes. It just goes by the calendar year. So an athlete that's born in January is still considered the same age as an athlete that's born in December, whether their birthday has come or not. Okay, that it'll be concluded. All right. Let me see here. So if you have your phone, you can look along with me. If you don't, no big deal. But we use Team app. I don't know if some of you got here and you didn't know about the app. So we have an app that we use, and that's how we do all communication, and all business is conducted through the app. So if you pull your app up right quick.
It's called Stack Team App.
Team app. And if you're gonna pull it up, it's on the what's it called, the App Store and the Play Store. It's on both of those. Stack Team app. Once you install that app on your phone, then you'll search for Rockwall Mustangs, and you'll see our logo, and you know that you're in the right place. So when you go to our website, rockwallmustangs.club, that's gonna take you to the same landing page as the team app. And then what you do is on the top, you click on join. You're going to create a profile just to use the app. That's not signing up for the club. You create your profile so that you get notifications and everything that happens in the app. Okay. After you do that, then I will approve your request to join the club. And then you will start getting all notifications. Everything will start coming through. You'll get an email and you get a text. You can turn those off. I recommend you keep at least the emails on. That's fine if you don't want to receive messages. I try to keep my messages that I send out to a minimum unless there's something specific that's going on. Like for instance, if we had practice one day and there's a soccer game or whatever, like see today, something's going on at the track. And we'll get into that in a minute. But anyways, keep on the app for a second. So once you create your profile, there's news, schedule, documents, chat, gallery. Those are the 4 places that you can do things on the app. I want to talk about chat real quick. So if you go into the chat, you'll see a whole history. Unless you delete the thread, you'll see the whole history for every time you had a chat with somebody. When you click on the plus sign up in the top right corner, that pulls up a chat that you're going to start. Now, it's a default that you can select what group you're going to chat with, or you can select a person. So generally speaking, if you need to contact any of us with the club, then you'll go in and find that person's name and then send them a direct message. We've had some messages that have already gone out in the parents group. And so that means everybody that is part of our app that's in the parents group right now, and I got to, some kids have graduated and moved on, so I got to clean that up a little bit. But just realize that when you use the chat feature, make sure that you're selecting a specific person rather than just sending it to the broad group, because that goes out to everybody. Okay, so it's not hard to use. It's just kind of the first couple of times you use it, you might have a couple of questions, and you can always reach out to me, and I will give you the information on how to use that. Any questions about the app so far? Okay. When we do signups, that happens in the app as well. There's a store, and right now it's turned off, so you can't even see it. When I turn it on, then there'll be another option like the news and the schedule and everything else. There'll be a store. You'll click on that store, and then you'll go in there and you'll enter all your athletes' information, no matter how many you have. Just do one at a time, add the card. One at a time, add the card. Okay. Our membership is $250 for the season. That includes signing up into USA Track and Field. That includes uniform, and that includes the training that you'll get 3 times a week. So we practice Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And basically, we will be running from Thursday when we have our first practice this coming Thursday, all the way through the middle of July. And we try to be flexible. We know that, kids are competing in other things. We like our athletes to be well-rounded. So we don't expect to be 100%. All you do is track and field. That's not what we do. Now, the more you come, the more focused you are, the better you will become as an athlete. But if you have other things that are going on, understandable, and we're flexible with that. For siblings, the membership fee is $150. So we give you a $100 discount for all other siblings in one family. We try to keep the club affordable as possible. But so for the first athlete, it's $250. For any other sibling, it's going to be $150. And even if we have siblings that don't live in the same household, if y'all are family, that's fine. Okay, because it's not a money-making industry. That just takes care of everything we need to do to make everything happen for the club. Okay. Regarding practice. So we practice here in Williams for the entire 19 years that we've been in existence. And I've been in contact with Rockwall ISD, and I'm trying to get an arrangement to move to a different school that'll be dedicated just for our club. When we sign up as a club, when we register with USA Track and Field, we have a $3 million insurance policy that covers everything that we do for practices. It covers all of our athletes' injuries. It covers everything. So facilities, kids, except for parents. It doesn't cover parents, all right? But so that's what we're trying to do is, with that insurance backing us up, try to get a dedicated facility that we can use. We're looking at Kane Middle School, we're looking at Rockwall High School, and we're looking at Heath High School. One of those 3 is where we hope to end up, so that we have a dedicated place to be. Now, there are going to be some conflicts still. Soccer season goes on. If we end up at Heath, then there's baseball, stuff like that. And we're going to try to make sure that there's an agreement that we have something that we can show as a club, that if they're using the gates at Heath for the ticket booth, that we can show this and say, we're here for track practice, instead of having to go through all that all the time. So that's what we hope to do with that. Okay. This is Coach Robert, and what do you want to be called? Coach James, Coach Sean, Coach Candace, Coach Emily. All of these people were parents at one time and felt strongly enough about the program to join me and help coach. Coach Robert, I'll let you tell about yourself real quick.
Already did.
You already did? Okay. All right, cool. So you already know about him. Candace, and they're going to be like team mom and dad / coach. You know, they help out as much as they can, but they have lives too. You know, they're busy. They got kids doing all kinds of activities too. You know, so that's something that they're working as best they can. I wanted to say though, Candace, she threw shot and discus, correct? At his UT? Okay, at UT. So she has Division I experience, just like Coach Robert does. They don't like to talk about themselves, but I always like to put it out there like, you know, these people love track and field. They've been doing it their whole lives. And we love kids and we love working and trying to, like I said, we want to develop our athletes and make them better than they were before. Okay. I'll open up the questions. Yes.
Last year, it was like 250 for my first kid, and then like the second one was less. Is it 250?
No, it's 250 for the first one and 150 for the second one. No worries. Yes.
I know the bigger meets we have to travel, but for just like the regular season meet, that they are local or?
Yeah, I'll get into that. Yes.
Okay.
So basically, they're like the schedule I was looking at. There's a DFW track and field groups that anybody can join, and that's where all the track clubs just kind of, you know, there's all kinds of information out there all the time, and there's people that have their little rivalries and all that stuff too. But anyway, there's basically a track meet every weekend from April through July. We are not going to run every single Saturday from April through July. There are certain meets that the club has more helpers and they run them more clean. And we try to go to those meets because they're going to be run efficiently and we're going to get in and get out. There are other meets where there's just too many people that are going to be there. And it'll be like, it'll start off, one of the first distance races at 8 a.m. And the last meet of the day, the last race of the day may not be until 6 o'clock. And we're not trying to do that. So there are meets that are all in the DFW area. Majority of them are in South Dallas and Duncanville and DeSoto. That's where a lot of the biggest meets are, but there's also some in Crystal. There's also some in Carrollton. So I try to pick and choose 2 weeks ahead on where we're going to be. So that way you kind of know. But yeah, it is local. And then there are opportunities like to go up to Oklahoma, which is an hour drive. There's a nice meet that happens up there every year that we could go to. And so it's something that is going to be within that driving range, about an hour or so. We're not going to like have, you know, where you got to go 3 hours away or something like that during our regular season. That's only going to be when we have to go to Seguin for the qualifying meet if you make it there. And sometimes there's a couple of meets that are in Arlington or Fort Worth. Those are a little bit further.
I was just going to mention about the meets. Coach mentioned that some of those meets are pretty packed. So what we try to do is we try to figure out where most of the clubs want to go. Now they like to go to those meets because they, you know, it's a highly competitive association that we're part of. So they like to go and try to compete against each other. But whenever, you know, the masses go there, then the management of the meet just sort of follows it as well. So we try to find meets where there's not going to be a lot of crowd there, but it's also still competitive for our athletes so they can get better as well.
Right. And we've learned over time because we've shown up to meet after meet and then sit there all day long. And it's grueling, you know, especially when it gets to be 100 degrees out there. It's a long day. It's a long day in the heat. And so we're trying to make it enjoyable, but also protect the athletes, because athletes being out there for all those hours in that heat, especially distance runners, because they run first thing in the day and they run last in the day. So a lot of times if they can't leave and then come back, then they're there for the whole day. So we have to try to manage that, and we have to try to pick a meet that's going to go smoothly. So that way we can get in and get out. Other questions? Yes.
As far as gear, is there something specific that maybe bring on Thursday?
Just regular running shoes, shorts, and yeah, sure. And always bring water. For athletes that are 13 and older, we're not so concerned about a parent being here, but everybody 12 and under, we need at least one parent or guardian here so that if something were to happen, they're less likely to be able to handle that as quickly, you know. So Older kids, we can kind of help them manage whatever, if there's an injury, which we hardly ever have them, knock on wood. But, if something were to happen, we do need to have a parent or guardian that is quickly accessible, to help handle the situation. But yeah, like health is hydrate your kids. And we always have to remind everybody, the water you drink today is for tomorrow. The water you drank yesterday was for today. So you can't drink a whole bunch of water a couple of hours before practice and think that you're gonna have hydration. That's not hydration. You're getting ready to throw up. Okay, so you try to, we're not sticklers about nutrition or anything like that, but we are gonna teach you healthier lifestyles. We have parents that in particular will get out and work out while the kids are working out. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can say, man, I've been needing a reason. I need somebody to hold me accountable. Talk to a parent around here. There's parents that are gonna get together and get to working out and jump in with the kids sometimes. Brea over here is one of our ones that she's constantly gonna be on the move when we're at practice. And just in regards to practice, we try to keep it efficient. So, like today, just so happened 66 was backed up for some reason. So it took me 5 minutes extra to get here when I planned to be here 10 minutes earlier. So try to be on time as best as you can. And then we want to get the kids on the track and get to work. And then get in and get out, same thing. We want to, and we focus a lot on preparation. We're going to do a lot of stretching. We're going to do a lot of warm up with every practice, because if you put a kid out there without being properly warmed up, that's when injuries occur. And I think that's why we avoid a lot of injuries, because we work hard on making sure that the body is ready to work before we actually do the work. Other questions? Yes, ma'am.
What age do you guys age out? Like, who's the oldest?
Okay, so the Junior Olympics meet is it's July 22nd through the 28th. If an athlete is 18 on the 28th, they can compete. Okay. The starting age is 7 years old. Now we have other athletes that come out and run that are 6 years old. They need to be 7 in this calendar year to be able to compete. Because like I said, it goes 2-year increments. So we might have a 7-year-old running against an 8-year-old. And then you have 9-year-olds running against 10-year-olds. But the starting age is 7 to actually compete, because anybody younger than that, they can participate in some of the meets that we go to throughout the season. But when it comes to the actual qualifying meets, they're too young. Okay. So 7 years old starting age, 18 on July 28th, they can still compete. Other questions?
Can I make a recommendation?
Sure.
Last season.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was great, by the way. Nothing but great things. As parents, we see a roster of like just contacts and info. I know the chat feature is great, but I think that would help us communicate with each other, even outside the chat, for like things like meets and if parents need help getting kids places. I know as moms, I think we will all lean on each other, like if we need help picking up, dropping off, like sitting with the kid, like we have a learner that needs, like you said, distance runners, which I have one.
Yeah.
Somebody to sit with the kid, I'm always willing to sit there or help run it, whatever. I think we had a roster we did.
Yeah, the thing about it, the app allows for people to either share their information or not. So that's kind of where I leave that, because everybody that wants their information available, you can see them in the chat features. And so I would say that maybe we can do one message
For those.
for those that want to, and then once I get those responses, I can create a chat group in the app that everybody that's there selected to be in there. Okay.
Thank you.
Other questions? Yes. Long distance, they run 1,600 meters. Older ones run 3,200 meters, and then middle distance is 800 meters. So 2 laps, 4 laps, 8 laps. Other questions?
Will the time change, in summer? The time taking practice in summer? Go up to 8 o'clock.
Depending on where we get it. Yeah, for right now, and that's what we did. Once school let out, and then we weren't concerned about, and let me back up. So I'm trying to come up with a code of conduct And it's kind of just been an unspoken thing that we want our athletes to make sure that they keep their grades up. That's something that we're gonna really focus on this year and make sure that that's something that a kid is gonna have to sign and say, I agree, that I'm gonna take care of my grades in order to participate in our track club. Okay, because just like, the school has no pass, no play, we're not gonna be disciplinary about it. That's not what it is. It's more, it's an accountability standard that we want to have with the kids. And so that's something that they have to take ownership of. And so with that being said, once school gets out, we sometimes will try to increase the practice time by 30 minutes. It won't be any longer than that. And that may be for us to be able to work on long jump, or if we get access to a high jump pit or something like that. That'll be that extra time that we'll be allowed. But like the main practice mainly stay from 6 o'clock to 7:30. Yes.
I was right now. But it's right here, so there's that, but I.
It'll be, I mean, basically, the fact that they're coming from another practice is not that bad. It is gonna be a matter of where we are in the workout, which generally speaking, our warm-up takes about 30 minutes anyway, so that probably will work out okay. And what I needed to say is that, especially if you're new to the club, we recommend that you come to at least one workout or two for free before you actually sign up with the club and decide whether or not you want to join. And that way there's no pressure, just come out, let them go through a workout, see kind of what we do. And then you can sit down at home as a family and make a decision on whether or not you want to commit to it.
And to sign up, we just pay. That's all we need.
It'll be an app, yeah. And then I take care of everything else on the backside.
Have you said when you're gonna open up the registration, to sign up?
Probably tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
And spots don't get filled up, right? It's just-
No, we don't.
As big as
Right
we
now,
need to be.
we don't limit it. If we start getting upwards of, 60 or 70 kids, we might have to cut it off.
Okay.
Yeah. But for now, we don't have a limit, and we don't have some clubs you have to qualify to run, and we don't do that here. It's not in my heart to turn kids away. If the kid wants to come out and improve himself, I want them to come out.
Even if they don't compete.
Yeah, we have kids that are in other sports and they come out just because running mechanics makes every sport better. So they never show up to a track meet ever, and that's fine. As long as I know that ahead of time, then when we're thinking about if we can do a relay or something like that, we know kind of where to put that athlete. But any kid can come out and just train. That's fine too. Other questions? Yes, sir.
Can we participate in the meet? Does that cost included with tuition, or is that like we have to pay extra on top of the 250?
Right. So when a track club hosts a meet, that's like a fundraiser for them. And so there's an entry fee. It might be $3 to $5 at the gate. When we get to the qualifiers for association championship and for regional championship, it's I think $16 per event, and that's it. So you'll be responsible for your athlete and your family getting into every meet that we attend as a club. And then on the qualifiers, you'll pay for their events. Yes, sir.
Does the admission fee cover uniforms and everything else?
Yes, it covers everything. Oh, yeah, and spikes. Yeah, if you're gonna, if you're new to track, the shoes we use are called spikes. And so they have metal spikes on the front. Distance runners, your shoes are a little bit different, but basically it's still a spike. So you'll need to start looking around for those. I buy most of them at Ross and Burlington. That's the best place I can usually find them, or you can order them online. Emily's gotten some for her kids off of Amazon that were pretty decent. So yeah, start shopping for spikes because sometimes they get hard to find, but yeah.
On the uniform, you got the new design last year, so with the fee, hey, this year we'll get another uniform to allow.
Yeah.
Another set.
Yeah, I got here a little late. I just finished practice. We have set days already.
We practice Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 7:30.
Then when would that start?
On Thursday? Yeah, this coming Thursday.
How about them Jaguars? That's where I went to college.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first track meet, do you know?
No, it'll probably be like the last weekend of April or the first weekend of May. We try to get at least 1 month of training in. And what I want to talk about as far as training goes, a lot of our older athletes are in the middle of a season right now. So when they start coming out training with us, we have to be careful about how we deal with them because we don't want to cause injuries when they're already in season. They're getting ready to finish up and they're getting close to, district championships and stuff like that. So we have to be careful about how we train them, but we still want all of our athletes to get about a month of training in before we start going to meets. Other questions?
Do you or the athlete choose what that's there?
Generally, after we train for a little bit, we encourage them one way or another. And sometimes you never know, if I know an athlete is probably not going to be a sprinter, then we need to try to find a middle distance race or maybe a longer race that'll work for them because if you don't have the quick twitch muscles, it's not something that's going to just come. You can train up to a certain extent, but certain races that are very powerful races that are quick, you have to have that muscle that your body's already got.
As they say, you can't coach speed.
Right.
You either have it or you don't.
Right.
Yeah, actually, that's right. Being on this Thursday.
Okay.
We'll be out then, but you'll be having it go today.
Yes. Yes. And then, like I said, if you just, be kind of flexible with me as far as until we find our track home, hopefully we will find our track home. If you all know anybody in the school district that is, along the administrative side, that you can put a bug in there or like give me their number so I can talk to them, that would be helpful as well. Because like I said, that realistically, what we're talking about is we're building up, the youth of this community in our own way, and there's no risk whatsoever to the district. Their injury is covered, all facilities are covered, and that's what we want to try to do is get the place that we can have access to and give our kids the best training that they can get, the best environment to train in. Any other questions? Only bad question is one that doesn't get asked. Not bad, 30 minutes.
Yeah. So if y'all have friends that want to run, invite them out. We love to have more people out here. It works out better the more people we have for competition. So we love to have more people out.
And just remember, direct anybody to rockwallmustangs.club. And then, if you click on the welcome message at the top of the page, it tells you everything about joining the app. It tells you what to do, create your profile. It tells you all that stuff. So just send them there. You can always give them my number. My information is on the website as well. If you have sent me an email recently and I have not responded, I did get those emails. So just know that because some people will go to the app and then you can click on contact us and it sends me an email. So there's a couple people that in the last couple of days have reached out. So any other questions? All right. Well, I thank you all for making time to come out today. And I hope you're excited to join the club and learn more about us. And we will see you on Thursday. I'll send out. We're probably going to try to go here, but if I find out something before then I'll let you know what we'll be. But most likely it'll be here. Thank you all.
Nice to meet you all.